With the recent success of Apex Legends, you could say Titanfall 2 is getting a second chance. A lot of people are picking up Apex's predecessor, and some are still on the fence about it. Well, if you're still unsure if this game is for you, you came to the right place. This is Spades, and today I'll be reviewing and talking about whether or not Titanfall 2 is worth it in 2019. To say Titanfall 2 got off to a rough start would be an understatement. EA, the publisher of Titanfall, released Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1 the same week. Why they did this is beyond me, but the more popular title outshadowed Titanfall 2, causing it to never get the spotlight it so well deserved. A lot of things went wrong with the release of the game that EA is responsible for, but that belongs to the past now. Jump forward almost 3 years later, and is this game still worth it? Well, to start, Respawn made a lot of changes and for the better from Titanfall 1 to 2. Unlike in Titanfall 1 where the multiplayer and campaign were kinda mixed together, causing it just to be one big mess, they separated the campaign and multiplayer. Titanfall's 2 campaign is a 68-hour adventure where you play as Rifleman Jack Cooper, who is unexpectedly promoted to pilot and is given a Titan named BT-7274. The story itself isn't anything too crazy, and honestly, Jack Cooper is a huge Mary Sue, but what it does do well is the relationship between Jack and BT. This relationship is comparable to the Iron Giant, or Halo with the Master Chief and Cortana. The campaign cleverly uses both Jack and BT's abilities to complete the mission. Some areas you need to enter BT as there may be a lot of hostile Titans that Jack can't take on his own, or poisonous water or fog that would kill Jack without being in BT. In other areas where you have to leave BT and play as Jack to get through smaller areas or perform parkour. Talking about the parkour, the movement in this game is excellent. It is silky smooth and it feels amazing. And the campaign has its fair share of moments to just demonstrate how good it is. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's one mission that is so good and demonstrates the movement so well that it just blew my mind, and it's worth the price of the game alone. Once you play the level, you'll understand just how awesome it is. The campaign also has its moments showing off the Titan battles. They're epic to say the least. Throughout the game, you take on mercenary pilots and Titans that are hunting you down as a form of boss fights. If I'm being honest though, the boss fights were fun, but some of them felt the same, and all of them felt like bullet sponges. Titanfall 2 ends off on a cliffhanger that'll leave you begging for Titanfall 3. The campaign did what it had to do, and it was a huge step up from Titanfall 1. However, this is just the start to Titanfall's 2 full experience, as you have the multiplayer where you'll be spending the majority of your time with. Titanfall's 2 multiplayer is a fast-paced, action-packed shooter that pits you and your team versus enemy pilots. In Attrition, the most common game mode you'll be playing, your main goal is to get 300 points by killing enemy pilots, Titans, and enemy AI-controlled grunts before the other team beats you to 300 points. And yes, I said enemy AI. In Titanfall 2's multiplayer, not only do you go up against human-controlled pilots, but AI-controlled grunts. They're really easy to wipe out, and one grunt kill is 1 point compared to 5 points for a pilot kill, which is actually really good considering how easy they are to pick off and that they're virtually everywhere. Forget about them and focus only on pilots, and your team will definitely suffer. This also gives new players, or less skillful players, an ability to contribute to the team. By killing pilots and grunts, not only do you get points for your team, but you start to fill your Titan meter. When it's full, you can call in your Titan. This is where Titanfall 2 multiplayer shines, in my humble opinion. You see, half the gameplay takes place as playing as a pilot, fast and slippery but low health. Then the other half is taking place in the Titan. You lose mobility and you become a bigger target, but you have crazy health and you become a pilot-killing machine. That's not to say that the Titan is too overpowered. Powerful, yes. Overpowered, no. You see, well-skilled pilots can easily hide behind cover and use their anti-Titan weapons that, as the name suggests, is great against Titans but not so effective against enemy pilots. If the Titan tries to ignore or can't locate the pilot shooting them, even one pilot can take down a Titan. Also, pilots can perform a rodeo, in which you jump onto the enemy Titan and rip out one of its batteries, taking off a good chunk of that Titan's health. Then, if you successfully give that battery to a friendly Titan, or enter your own, you restore a bit of health and give it an overshield. It is extremely well balanced, and that goes for the maps as well. The fact that Respawn's had to make the maps that kept both pilot and Titan combat both interesting and fun. A lot of things could have gone wrong, and for the majority of the maps, it didn't. After a team scores 650 points, you enter the epilogue. If you're on the losing team, your main goal is to get to the extraction point without dying. If you're on the winning team, your main goal is to stop the enemy's extraction by blowing up and/or wiping the enemy team. It's a fun endgame for both teams, as it can give a sense of small victory for the losing team to extract, or for the winning team to rub more salt into the wound. It's amazing. Once the match is over, you get XP, which goes towards your level, in which you get a bunch of goodies, like unlocking new abilities, guns, titans, boosts, and camos. Yep, a AAA game where you actually have to play the game to unlock stuff. Crazy, I know. There's a store that does sell camo packs, but just for $2.99, you can get 20 different camos that can be applied to your pilot, weapon, and Titan. Really good price if you're asking me. There are also unique camos, one camo for specific guns for $5.99. I personally think they're a bit overpriced, but considering that you know what you're going to get, I still prefer this over loot boxes. Yeah, looking at you, Call of Duty. Much like the gameplay, the pilot and the Titan loadouts are pretty different. Pilot loadouts resemble more of a common FPS shooter loadout system, but much deeper as there are various grenades, weapons, abilities, and tacticals, whereas the Titan loadouts are more of a character class system that resembles something from Team Fortress 2 or Overwatch. There are 7 different Titans, which are broken up into 3 different classes. The Strider Titans, which include Ronin, a nimble up-close and personal Titan, and Northstar, a sniping Titan that can hover. The Strider Titans are fast and mobile, but have low health. Then you have the Ogre Titans, which include Legion, that wields a minigun and can use a portable shield, and Scorch, a Pyromaniac Titan. These classes have the most health in the game, but have the worst mobility. Then Atlas Titans, which include Ion, an energy-based all-around Titan, and Tone. We don't talk about that one. Atlas Titans are kinda in between the other classes of Titans, decent health and decent mobility. Then you have Monarch, which I guess she's an Atlas Titan? Monarch is the most customizable Titan in the entire game. You upgrade her throughout the game, and you choose what upgrade she gets in the game through the loadout. She's way more complicated than she needs to be, but honestly she's in a class of her own, so I guess there's 4 classes of Titans. On top of a great campaign and an outstanding multiplayer, you get another game mode called Frontier Defense, a survival-based co-op game mode where you and 3 other pilots must protect an objective, aka the Harvester, from oncoming waves of AI-controlled grunts and Titans. The lower difficulties I find pretty damn easy, with the higher difficulties actually being hard and requires good teamwork and communication. The animations in Titanfall 2 are outstanding, from the reloads to executing a Titan. They blow me away, they feel so powerful, fluid, and natural. However, despite the Titan animations looking good, I do miss the first-person animations from the first game. Sure, the third-person animations look great, but for the sake of immersion, it kinda takes you out of it when you're entering your Titan in third person. From a technical standpoint, they're better, but for immersion, they are far worse. I wish there was some sort of option to switch between first-person or third-person animations, but maybe that would have costed way too much. So the big question, is it worth it in 2019? Even though Apex has been giving some light to Titanfall 2, the player base is still low, and I'm unsure how long this game will last. Every once in a while, I'll be waiting in the lobby for 5 to 10 minutes. Other times, it's instant. I guess it depends on what server you're on and what time you're playing at. The best times in my experience are at night and on the weekends. But we all know the game will eventually die out, whether it be people not playing it, or Respawn shutting down the servers. I also fear that newer players might feel discouraged because of the skill gap, but I encourage everyone to pick up this game. On PC right now, it's only $20, and that is an amazing price you pay for everything you get. Titanfall 2 is one of the best shooters in the last decade, and you don't want to miss it. before it goes away. This was Spades, and until next time.